Barbara found out 10 years ago that she was HIV positive. She continues to have unprotected sex because she is afraid she will be rejected if she discloses her virus. And lastly, meet Gwen. She is also HIV positive and plans to wipe out as many men as possible by infecting them intentionally with AIDS.
Let me tell you, miss, I didn't get it from a sexually transmitted disease. I stuck a hanger in my, made myself lose a baby, and they had to give me some blood. And that's how I got it, from poison blood. I get the age, or they're married, and half of the men are married and cops. So her half of the New Orleans Police Department have AIDS.
And she wants to take the mayor down.
You heard me? You hear me?
And you're proud of that fact.
Married. Yes, I am very proud.
You realize you're killing...
Because you know what, Ricky? If you're married, why would you go to sleeping around? You have no business sleeping around. If you're married, you're supposed to be faithful to your wife. So guess what? The law ain't got to punish you. Gwen gonna punish you.
I don't walk around, I don't have an STD that I carry around all the time. If I contact it, I contact it.
But even while you have the STD, you still sleep around.
That's right. And if somebody doesn't
So what makes you different from Gwen?
Y'all are both
It's
ignorant.
because if I have it, it's not like I go without and get it untreated. I get it, I always get treated, and
Let me tell you something.
but if somebody contacts it while I have it,
you're going to get something that you cannot treat. You're going to get something that you cannot treat. AIDS is something that you cannot get rid of.
And he just keep on spreading.
Excuse me, Gwen, I want to ask you a question. How would you feel if your kid was grown up and, do you have a son? Do you have a son?
I have 2 sons and a daughter.
Okay, one of your sons met a woman like you and infected your son with AIDS.
If he was being a dog, let him have it.
Contracted herpes from this woman. I wanted to kill her. I was planning on ways in which to run this woman down and murder her. I says, you know, I know all there is to know now, 3 or 4 years later, about herpes. I'm having difficulty dating. I would like to get started and get back into having a relationship. This woman basically told me that this organization couldn't help me, and the way she told it to me pissed me off to such an extent that
you started your own organization.
I decided to do my own. I started Herpes Discreet Dating Service. That went well for a while.
Good for you.
There was problems with dating services.
So you turned your negative into a positive for other people.
My negative into a positive.
Good for you. You realize that you are on national television today. Yep. Millions and millions of men are going to see you. They're going to recognize your face, and they're going to run when they see you coming. It saddens me to say that there are probably a lot more people like Gwen out there. The fact remains that nobody can be absolutely sure of their partner's past. When you go to bed with someone, remember that you are also going to bed with every person that they've slept with. So please be safe. Don't let that one moment of pleasure change the course of the rest of your life. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Joe. His best friend Charles outed him to his family. Joe says that when his mom found out he was gay, he had to move out because he says his mom could barely look him in the face. He says Charles ruined his life by outing him. Joe, what do you want to say to Charles?
Well, Charles, I want to tell you, you knew how I felt about my family not knowing that I was gay. I didn't want you to tell him. I wasn't ready to come out yet. You ruined my life for 2 years. And me knowing that your family knew after I was gay, they accepted you, but my family did not accept me, and it ruined mine and Lisa's life.
I was just trying to give him a taste of his own medicine, because he tells my mom things that I do now.
Meet Monica. She says that's why her brother Ron says he outed her. Monica was engaged to a man, yet having an affair with a woman. And her brother Ron outed her to her fiancé and to her mother.
Well, and that comes down to she was asking me to lie to my mother.
I'm my mom's firstborn. She's the youngest. I think that's pretty unfair of her to ask me to lie to my mother.
I didn't ask you to lie. I just did. I asked you not to say anything.
Mom wants to know why you're hanging out at the queer bar all the time.
Well,
what you're doing with me all the time. What am I supposed to say?
Don't lie to her.
I had been telling her to come out of her closet for a long time. She kept telling me she wasn't queer, and I kept saying, Monica, look at you. You know you are. Why don't you just come out?
Well, because it was quote unquote proper to be with a man. You know, that's how I was raised. And
meet Brian. He says his former friend John outed him by leaving a message on his parents' answering machine. He says he's never confronted John before because he never felt confident enough. But he is here today because he says he's finally secure enough to tell John exactly how he feels. Well, let's not wait any longer. John, come on out. You have something you want to say to John?
I'm just wondering why you did that, why you felt the need to do that. What have I ever done to you? Why don't you tell me that?
Well, let's see where to start. For one, you're a jerk.
Should we start at the bowling alley where you left me at 2 o'clock in the morning? Well,
that has nothing to do with the bowling alley. For one, you're a thief. You're a liar. You talk about everybody behind their backs. For one.
Did he ever leave a message on your parents' answering machine saying you're gay?
No, we never had him over to our house.
Brian, I mean, can you ever forgive him for doing this to you?
Oh, shut that down. I don't ever want to see him again.
Meet Andrew. He says that he confided in his mother and sister that he thought he might be bisexual. He says they then took it upon themselves and told his entire family that he was gay.
My dad is very macho, okay? And Hispanic macho. And I said to my mom, God, I wonder what he would think of that. God, he would like... He probably wouldn't accept it, would you? And she's all, oh, he knows you're gay. I'm all, what?
I just want to say, who do you think you're trying to kid? I mean, you guys look gay, you act gay. Who's going to be surprised by it, especially people in your life?
How do you act? Excuse me.
No. I didn't mean like...
Wait.
I love straight boys. Get his number, Ricki.
Wait, how do you act gay? Wait. Excuse me. I have friends who are black and are sometimes told they don't act black. How do you act black? How do you act gay? How do you act white? We all have our own interpretation of who we are, and it's no one else's right to say who we are, okay?
Everyone should be able to be proud of who and what they are. Sadly, for many gay people, being open about their sexuality means paying a personal or professional price. Maybe one day all people will feel comfortable enough simply to be who they are, and closets will only be used for clothes. Thank you all for watching. See you next time. Settle a score with someone who they'd say did them wrong. Meet Jennifer. She was engaged to Aaron, who was waiting backstage, until he came home one day and said he was going to leave Jennifer and marry Lorna. And that he did just 2 weeks after moving out of Jennifer's house. Jennifer's mom, Judy, says Aaron is a pig and doesn't deserve to see Jennifer and Aaron's child.
So in other words, he made the agreement with me to pay me $50 a week for child support and get medical on my son.
How much has he paid?
He paid me $50 one time, bought my son a coat, never got no medical. The next week, I didn't get a paycheck. Everybody else he works with got a paycheck. Why didn't he? So forget it. You made your bed, you're going to sleep in it. We'll go to child support, and then you're going to pay more than $50 a week.
So you have a lot to say to this guy.
Yes,
the reason that me and her are split up today is because of her mother.
Right. Oh, no, wait a minute. Excuse me. We knew you were going to say that when we got out here. You cannot we knew you were going to say that. The dog as he is. Thank you. Why? Because I got your man and you can't have it? I don't want him because if I wanted him, I would have married him. Thank you.
But really, isn't this between your daughter and Aaron?
Exactly. That's why we're not together anymore.
Okay, you say, wait a minute, hang on. You just said.
That's why we're not together anymore.
Okay, hang on.
You see who's got the floor?
Okay, please.
The whole time we've been out here.
Ricki.
because you met
Hang
someone
on.
else.
You
And if
say
it
you
wasn't
kept
her,
your
it'd be
nose,
someone
Jennifer,
else.
Yes, I
please.
have.
Jennifer, please.
I have kept my
You
nose
say you
out
kept
of
your
it.
nose out of it, but why were you on the other end of the phone conversation?
Get on as a witness.
On the show, and I knew she'd lie or he would lie.
I don't know. You don't
All right.
know.
Look, that woman says her ex-best friend and neighbor is after her live-in lover. But her neighbor says there's no way she'd touch him.
Okay, this is how the story actually goes, okay? Rhonda went out of town. She asked me to watch her house for her, to take care of her fish, to take care of her hamster, to get her mail, but which I was a good friend. I didn't mind doing it. But see, the whole time when I was being that good friend, she was being a butt, okay?
So wait, so she was spending time with your man?
She was using me. She was using me because anytime if you got a good friend, you're not going to talk about that friend to nobody. And the person that she talked to about me was the person that she knows. I don't associate with her, but it got back to me.
Okay, all right, Clarence, but let me just ask you one thing. 4 o'clock in the morning, 4 in the morning, 4 in the afternoon, whatever. What are you doing at her house to begin with?
Man, okay, I'm trying to get these two to be friends. It don't have anything to do with me.
So it's not about you having...
I do not care. I do not want Rhonda. Okay,
let me ask a question.
Want Rhonda for what?
Let me ask a question. Why would you tell me, since me and your girlfriend is not friends anymore, that I should not have a conscience?
But
and I should sleep with you.
But you know what? Let me say this here.
Oh, you don't love
it. Didn't come from Clarence where I heard it. It come from somewhere else. I don't know the situation about you and Clarence, whatever day it was, 4 o'clock morning, evening, or whatever it was. Because like I told him and like I tell you, if it's going to be all that, it ain't going to be none of this here with this.
Well, that's true.
If you have to settle a score with your ex or anyone, do it with words, not with anger. You may be surprised when you hear the other side of the story that a compromise can be reached that is better for everyone. Oh, I think I hear Brett. Would you like to see your son?
Yeah, I would.
Brett, come on out. Thanks for watching. See you next time.